Assurance is a difficult word in this context. He was certainly hoping to get reassurance and attention from this meeting, and that he did from the French president, who really assured him that France was unwavering in its support for Ukraine, both financially and militarily. Macron confidently said that 90 billion euro loan that EU countries agreed on back in December, that's been facing a bit of a roadblock, will be approved. He said that very confidently. Of course, despite Hungary and Slovakia's reticence at the moment. There was also a focus on ways to pressure Russia, focusing particularly this time around on targeting Russia's shadow fleet that allows it to export things like oil and boost its revenue. And interestingly, now we're also talking a lot about military cooperation between France and Ukraine. Cooperation in terms of drones in particular, because now Ukraine has become a bit of a pioneer when it comes to drone warfare. It's got a lot of expertise from the battlefield. Zelensky even mentioning that he'd received requests from a number of countries in the Middle East and also the US for this expertise on how to combat drones, because you'll remember that these Shahed drones that are used by Russia and Ukraine are the same drones that Iran is currently using.
We are now 14 days into the Middle East conflict. What impact is this war having on Ukraine's effort to resist Russia in its war with Russia?
Well, the spotlight is off Ukraine at the moment, and that's never good news for President Volodymyr Zelensky, who's also trying to shore up as much support that he can possibly get. I mean, when you listen to high-ranking officials, they say that Russia's the big winner of this war. First of all, they are benefiting it in many ways with the cost of oil going up. It's now about $100 a barrel, which is down from kind of the peaks it reached earlier, but that's still much higher than average, and that directly translates to higher revenues for Russia. That's still a major exporter of oil despite sanctions. And now, of course, we've got the US lifting some of those restrictions on countries purchasing Russian oil temporarily, but that's still a month of extra revenue, and it comes as a huge blow to Volodymyr Zelensky and to the European Union, who'd kind of been urging Trump not to get rid of those restrictions. Now, Macron kind of wasn't willing to necessarily condemn it. He said that it was for the US to justify its own decision, and that didn't change anything in terms of where the G7 and France stood in terms of sanctioning Russian oil. Volodymyr Zelensky was a little bit possibly harsher in his words, saying that this was simply enriching Russia at a time where Russia's also producing Shahed drones that end up in the Middle East, and so that it was a very contradictory decision from the US.